Hi everyone. So I just woke up, as we can see by my hair, and I looked outside and I felt my eyes adjusting, right? And it reminded me of a video that I watched by Andrew Huberman. You might know him, he's quite famous online. This is him right here. And it reminded me of a video I watched in like 2023 about how when you wake up you would be better off by looking outside at the sun in order to wake your circadian rhythm and to start the day and to be tired at night and all this stuff. So yeah, it reminded me of that. And by thinking about it, I remember as well this period of my life in like 2022 2023 where I fell into a rabbit hole of health optimization content. Like Andrew Huberman was the main source of it, but I was also checking studies and articles on how to really squeeze out your potential out of your daily routine, right? So it started like that. I would wake up, I would watch the sun or around the sun for like a few seconds in order to wake up my circadian rhythm. I would then wait if I had to drink coffee, and I would space my coffee intake to like no more than 2 times during the week. And I would do that in order to preserve the effect of the caffeine and not to have crash and to optimize my caffeine intake, to optimize my school performance and my overall performance on life. So at the time, I just did it because I felt like it was the good thing to do. So it gave me a sort of small meaning in my everyday life to just wake up and do a thing, right? You feel productive when you wake up and you look out to the sky, and you feel productive when you know that you're like dividing your coffee intake throughout the week in order to be the most optimized. You feel productive when you do all that stuff. I would also close the lights like an hour before I went to sleep. But the thing is, I don't live alone, right? So I would just close all the lights of the floor I would sleep at, and all my family was mad about it because they wanted to see. It was like I would go to sleep super early, like at 9:30 or 9 even. So 8:30, the lights would be out. If people in my house wanted to see, they would have to like open it, and I would be mad about it because I wanted to get my good sleep. I would stop using my cell phone like an hour at the time I was closing the light. I would like try to meditate, but I was not doing it right. I was so focused on the content, right? The how you do things. And I think this is the problem with health optimization content, is that it makes you focus on the, like I say, the content. So there's a great metaphor that comes to my mind to talk about this subject. It is the one of the wise man and the idiot, okay? So you probably already know it. It's quite popular where I'm from, but maybe it's not where you're from. So it goes like this. The wise man points at the moon and the idiot looks at the finger, right? How I interpret this saying is that the wise man, he wants to show you the moon, but you only look at the finger, you only look at the content. And I was the idiot, and I think I still am in a certain way, but you have to look at the message and not the envelope of the message. I don't know how, if it's clear, but yeah, you need to look at the moon, not at the finger. You need to look at the essence of something, not at how to do something. I watched a recording about Alan Watts, and he said the past is created by the present. Without the present, there would be no past. He used a metaphor of like a boat that goes in the water and that leaves a trail. The trail is the past. Without the present, it would not exist. So without living your life, without going in a direction by yourself, without walking, you don't create the trail. And I feel like the health optimization content is like a trail you want to create for yourself without walking. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like it's just missing out about something. I know it's not presented in that way when they do these recordings, and it's up to the interpretation of the watcher. And I got caught up in it, and I think I'm not the only one. Maybe I am, but I was too much optimizing my daily routine that I would forget to live, right? If there was something happening past 9:30, I would not even consider going because it would affect my sleep schedule. And the best nights in your life are the one you don't sleep, because it's where you make memories. It's where you live life as a dance for what it's for. And when you try to control yourself with all these rules and regulations, I think that you're missing out on something deeper that life has to offer, which is just live, right? But I know health is important, and I'm not saying not do anything to take care of your health. I'm just saying that at a certain point, I think it becomes too much. and that we just have to forget about it and just live a regular life and do the things we want to do without putting constraints of like watching the sun for 14 seconds and then doing 5 jumping jack in order to warm up your body temperature, and then do 3 push-ups and then walk around barefoot in the, like, I understand it's good, but what do you need the optimization for, right? I'm just like, I legit don't understand. It's like, I get it that you have to be healthy, but I feel like it's a bit obsessive. I feel like if you get a good diet, you do exercise, and then you have a good social circle, you have no much stress, and you're like chill in life. I feel like that's what gets you to live, right? The people in the blue zones, I think that's what they call, where they live like 200 plus years, like in Osaka or like in Spain or in Greece, I think. I'm pretty much sure no one of these people are watching the sun when they wake up. Maybe they do, but I feel like they just, if your goal is to live long, even if that's your goal, because why do you want to live long for? If you see life as a destination, you're never going to get anything out of life. And I do it, and I want to stop doing it. That's why I'm angry about it. But you have to live life for the journey. If you want to live the longest, like these billionaires like Peter Thiel, or like this guy, Brian Johnson, that tries to biohack his way out of debt, right? If you try to live for the longest, why are you living in the first place? I mean, it's nice to live 200 plus years old, but what do you need so much time for? I mean, just enjoy the moment as it is. And like, again, Alan Watts said in the video I watched, he says he was talking with a woman that was afraid of dying, and they talked about it, and she was just afraid of what people would think about her death. She was not really afraid of dying. So I think if we question this fear, maybe it's just something deeper. Like, we are afraid of not being able to love the ones we have right now, but just do it right now instead of concentrating on biohacking your way to live longer and to spend more time with the people you love. Just love them, right? Just do things now and stop putting these preventive measures, right? So yeah, it's the metaphor of the wise man and the idiot makes me think about another one, which is, back in high school, my teacher was talking about comparison but not really comparison. He was just talking about a text, an essay. You have to separate the content and the container. The content is what you're saying. The container is how you're saying it. With all this stuff about health optimization, we are focusing too much on the container instead of the content. The content is a life you live. It's impulsive decisions you take at 9 p.m. when you decide to go out with friends and to talk and to take a walk and to engage with this conversation. If you put yourself all these restraining measures about what you need to do to be happy and to be healthy, you're missing the content. I feel like you're just focusing on the container. Yes, the container is important. Yes, you have to eat healthy. Yes, you have to have good sleep. It's the most important thing, arguably. But I know it's scary, and I'm scared about it myself, but I just want people to question a bit more. Why would they want to optimize so much? I understand, but why would you want to live so long if that's the reason why you're doing it? I know you want to feel restful the next morning, but I think there are better measures than just to optimize your health. So if you feel like you're always tired, maybe it's not about how you sleep. Maybe it's just about how you manage your emotions. If you wake up tired, it's not that you did not have a good night of sleep. Maybe it's just that you went to sleep stressed. And this stress, I feel like by acting on it with small things you do to like control your biometrics or whatever that is, I feel like if you try to do this to cope with stress, it just makes it worse because you try to control everything. There's better way to cope about negative emotions than to restrain yourself. And I think that if you just listen to yourself for a minute, and you'll find that what you need is not to sleep, to turn off the light 1 hour before you sleep. Yes, it's important to have good sleep. Maybe that's not the best example, but maybe you don't need to like wait exactly 90 minutes after you wake up to take that caffeine. Maybe you don't need to do this protocol in one day you train the neck, and the other day you train the pecs, and the other day I use the worst examples that comes to my mind, but yeah, you get the idea. Maybe let's take a more useless example, because exercise and sleep are the most important according to me. But if we take a more useless example, then you can apply it to it. You don't need this to feel better. I think you just need to cope and to listen to yourself and to engage with your emotions. And yeah, so that was the case for me. I was anxious, and I was thinking that this was the solution. I was in search for meaning, and I was like, this is a meaning I need. But it was just the container. The content is life. How you dance every day, how you move through life is life. There's no path, there's no techniques, and I'm easily caught into that. I'm the type of person that likes to have a given meaning to them. Otherwise, I find myself lost. But I think that's what life is. You have to find yourself lost. But I still cannot accept it. I struggle to accept that fact. But I really think that you just have to live life, focus on the content. Let the container aside a bit. The container is what other people think of you, is what you think you need to optimize your schedule, but just focus on the moon. Don't focus on the finger, focus on the moon, the direction, the life you want to live. If I had to synthesize my point in like a few sentences, I would say that I think that optimizing your health with all these techniques, like the one we can see on Huberman and everything, is just a coping strategy for deeper things first. That's the first thing. It's like you have bad emotions, you're stressed, you try to regulate it, but I think there's better ways to do it than optimizing your daily routine. And the second thing I think is just focusing too much on a totally like subjective way of living your life. And I think we tend to associate it with the right one, that you have to optimize this, you have to be healthy to live a good life, but you have to be healthy if you want to be in health. But if that's not your main objective, I'm losing what I want to say here. But what I mean is that not everyone has the same goals about being healthy. It's important to be, if you want to live without like being sick or without cancer or without injuries at the older age. I'm young and maybe that's why I have this discourse right now, but just live life in the moment. Take care of your health, but don't be obsessive about it. That's my message, really. It's just take care of your health, take care of your life, but don't restrain yourself by doing all these small things if they don't make you feel comfortable. If that's what you want, fine. Just wake up, look at the sun, eat 3 almonds, drink your coffee 90 minutes after waking up, then go for a run, then come back, have like 34 minutes of productive work, and then come back and then do another training, and then if you feel good in it, do it. I'm not judging. It sounds like I'm judging. I'm just joking a bit, but if you feel good in that, just do it. It's just that if you don't feel good, then don't do that. There's other ways to feel good. That's my message. Thank you guys for listening to my rant once again. If you enjoy it, look at my other content, and see you in the next one.